Me, 37, senior marketing manager at tech company in San Francisco. Been with company for 5 years, worked my way up. Known as the outspoken feminist in the office. Always calling out sexism, always advocating for women. Proud of being that voice, that presence. Have a team of 8 people, mix of men and women. The women love working with me, feel supported. The men are more distant, professional but cold. Tell myself they're uncomfortable with strong women. That they're threatened by my success and confidence. Friday afternoon, most people have left early. I'm staying late to finish a presentation. Office is mostly empty, lights dimmed in other areas. Around 6 p.m., hear voices from the conference room. Door is slightly ajar. Didn't realize anyone was still here. Recognize the voices. It's my male colleagues. Tom, James, David, and Marcus from my team. Plus a few guys from other departments. They're having drinks, Friday wind-down session. About to announce my presence, then hear my name. So how's it working with Chun lately, someone asks. Tom from my team responds, audible sigh. Honestly, it's exhausting, walking on eggshells constantly. Feel anger rising, about to burst in. But something makes me stay quiet and listen. What do you mean? Another voice asks. James speaks up. Everything is a potential HR issue. Can't make jokes, can't give feedback, can't disagree. She interprets everything through this feminist lens. This is ridiculous, I don't do that. Keep listening, hidden in the hallway. David adds his perspective. Remember last month, I suggested a different approach for the campaign. She said I was mansplaining and talking over her. I was literally just doing my job as senior designer. That's not how that conversation went. Or is it? Trying to remember now. Marcus chimes in. Or the time I complimented her presentation. Said she did a great job on the client pitch. She pulled me aside after and said that was inappropriate. That commenting on women's performance can be patronizing. Did say something like that. Thought I was educating him. I can't when Marcus continues. If I don't acknowledge her work, I'm dismissive. If I do acknowledge it, I'm being condescending. So now I just say nothing and keep my distance. Someone from another department speaks. Is she really that bad, or are you guys being sensitive? Tom laughs bitterly. Dude, it's genuinely bad. She sent a department-wide email about gendered language. We can't say guys anymore, can't say manpower, have to say team members and workforce. That email was about inclusive language important. James adds, she makes everything about gender. We had a budget meeting last week, purely numbers. She said the finance team was dismissing her input. Because she's a woman and they're all men. They were dismissing my input, though. Or were they just disagreeing with my proposal? David shares another story. What about the promotion thing? She told Sarah she should apply for the director role. Spent hours coaching her, supporting her application. Meanwhile, Tom has been here longer and has better results. But she never mentioned it to him, never encouraged him. Tom was qualified, but Sarah needed the boost. Someone asks, did Tom apply anyway? Yeah, and I got the job actually, Tom says. But no thanks to her, she openly supported Sarah. Made it clear she thought a woman should get it. Even though Sarah has 2 years less experience. That's not the only factor that matters. Representation is important too. Marcus speaks again. Honest question for you guys. Do you think she actually hates men? Long pause, considering the question seriously. I don't think she hates us personally, James says. But she definitely sees us as the enemy. Like we're representatives of patriarchy. Not just co-workers trying to do our jobs. That's not fair. I don't see them that way. Do I, though, really thinking about it now? David agrees. Exactly. We're not individuals to her. We're just men with all the baggage that implies. Guilty until proven innocent of sexism. Feel defensive, but can't stop listening. Tom shares something that surprises me. I actually looked up to her when she first joined. She was smart, accomplished, knew her stuff. But over the years, she's become so bitter, so angry at men, so focused on gender politics, that it's poisoned our working relationship. Never knew he felt that way initially. Anyone else notice she treats women completely differently? Marcus asks. Night and day difference, James confirms. When women on the team make mistakes, she's understanding, calls it a learning opportunity, coaches them through it. When we make the same mistakes, we get lectured about being more careful, more considerate, more aware. I hold women and men to the same standards. But do I really, or do I make excuses for women? Someone asks, what about the meetings, the dynamics there? David laughs. Dude, the meetings are the worst. She'll cut men off mid-sentence. Say we need to hear from the women in the room first. But when women are talking, we have to wait silently. That's creating space for women's voices. Tom adds, and if you disagree with a woman's point, she jumps in immediately, says you're being dismissive. But if a woman disagrees with a man's point, that's encouraged, that's speaking truth to power. The rules should be the same for everyone. Are they not the same in my meetings? Marcus brings up something else. The social stuff is weird too. She organizes women's lunches, women's happy hours, women's networking events, women's mentorship. If we tried to organize a men's anything, we'd be accused of creating boys' club. Women need safe spaces to connect, though. James says, I get that women face challenges. I have a daughter. I want her to have opportunities. But Chen's version of equality feels like revenge. Like she's making us pay for stuff other men did. That's not my intention at all. Is it, though? Examining my actual behavior. Another voice, someone I don't recognize well. Have any of you talked to her about this? Collective laughter from a group. You can't talk to her, Tom says flatly. Any feedback is received as an attack. Any criticism is mansplaining or fragility. She's completely closed off to hearing men's perspectives. I'm open to feedback. I encourage it. When was the last time I actually listened, though? David shares, I tried once a few months ago. Told her I felt like she was harder on men than women. She said that's because men are used to getting away with things. That I was experiencing equality for the first time. And it felt like oppression because I was used to privilege. Do remember that conversation. Thought I handled it well. Marcus asks, so what do we do? Just deal with it. Pretty much James' response. Keep our heads down. Do our work. Avoid her when possible. Don't give feedback. Don't disagree. Don't engage beyond necessary. Tom agrees. That's my strategy now, too. Minimal interaction. Everything documented in email. Never alone with her. Always have witnesses. Treat her like a potential HR complaint waiting to happen. They're treating me like a threat, not a colleague. Someone new speaks up, older voice, maybe Rick from finance. You know what's sad about this? She's actually really good at her job, technically. Her campaigns are creative. Her strategy is solid. But nobody wants to work with her because she makes everything so political. The observation stings, cuts deep. I've heard from other departments, Rick continues. People specifically requesting not to be on her projects. Not because of her work quality, but because of how she treats the men on her teams. People are avoiding working with me. Never knew that, never suspected. Marcus speaks quietly. I'm looking for another job. Partly because of her, honestly. I can't deal with it anymore, the constant tension. The feeling of being judged for being male. He's leaving because of me. Didn't even know he was job hunting. James asks, have you found anything yet? Got an offer actually, putting in notice next week. Go to smaller company, better culture. Where I can just be a designer, not a political statement. Losing Marcus because of my behavior. He's talented, valuable team member. David says I've thought about it too. But I've got kids, can't risk the job change. So I just endure it and count down to retirement. He's enduring working with me, counting down. Tom adds, same boat, mortgage and family. Otherwise, I'd probably leave too. It's just not worth the daily stress. My team wants to leave because of me. Not because of the work, because of me personally. The conversation shifts to other topics. Sports, weekend plans, normal guy talk. I slip away quietly back to my desk. Sit there in the dark office, shaking. Everything they said, every criticism, every example. Playing over and over in my head. Feel defensive. Want to justify my behavior. They don't understand. They're resistant to change. but can't shake what I heard, the truth in it. Spend the weekend replaying the conversation, examining my behavior with brutal honesty. Look at my recent emails to male versus female team members. To women, warm, encouraging, mentoring tone. Great work. Let's discuss your ideas. I love your creativity. To men, directive, corrective, distant tone. Please revise this. This needs more thought. See my comments. Same work quality, completely different treatment. Look at my calendar, my one-on-ones. Women, hour-long sessions, coaching and support. Men, 30 minutes focused only on tasks. Look at my Slack messages. The difference is stark. Responding to women with paragraphs and enthusiasm. Responding to men with short, curt replies. Pull up the meeting notes from last month. Count how many times I interrupted men versus women. Men interrupted an average of 3 times per meeting. Women never interrupted, always allowed to finish. Look at the feedback I've given on projects. Women's work, excellent effort. Great start. Love the direction. Men's work, needs improvement. Missing key elements. Try again. Even when the men's work was objectively better. The bias is undeniable once I actually look for it. Monday morning can barely face going into the office. But force myself need to see my team. Get there early before anyone else arrives. Sit in my office trying to figure out what to do. Can dismiss what I heard, pretend I never heard it. Continue as before, maintain my righteous certainty. Or can actually change, actually address my behavior. Around 9 a.m., people start arriving. Watch my male team members through the glass. Tom, James, David, they look tense walking past my office. Not making eye contact, shoulders slightly hunched. They're literally uncomfortable in my presence. Later that morning, team meeting scheduled. Everyone files in. Usual seating pattern emerges. Women sit closer to me, engaged and comfortable. Men sit farther back, guarded and quiet. Start the meeting, discussing upcoming campaign. One of the women, Sarah, shares an idea. It's half-baked, needs work, but I respond enthusiastically. I love where you're going with this. Let's develop it more. Tom suggests a modification to her idea, a good one. I immediately feel myself bristling, wanting to defend Sarah. Catch myself, force different response. That's a solid addition, Tom. Good thinking. He looks shocked, actually makes eye contact. Continue through the meeting, consciously treating everyone equally, not interrupting the men, not giving women preferential treatment, asking men for their input, really listening to answers. It's harder than expected, goes against my instincts, but I keep at it, keep trying. After meeting, ask Tom to stay back. He looks nervous, like he's in trouble. Tom, can we talk about something honestly? He's guarded. Sure, what's up? I overheard you guys talking Friday night. In the conference room about me, his face goes pale, looks panicked. Before you worry, I'm not angry. I'm not going to HR. I just want you to know that I heard you. And I've been thinking about what you said. He's completely silent, probably terrified. You were right about a lot of it. I've been treating you differently than the women. I've been harder on you, more critical, less supportive. He relaxes slightly, wasn't expecting this. I don't want to make excuses or explain myself. I just want to apologize and try to do better. He's genuinely shocked now. You're apologizing to me? Yes, you deserve an apology. You and the other guys deserve better from me. We talk for 20 minutes, really talk. He shares more about his experience on the team. How he's felt judged, dismissed, kept at distance. How he's wanted to quit multiple times. How he stays because he needs the job, but dreads coming to work every day. I don't hate you, he says carefully. I just wish you could see us as people, not as representatives of everything wrong with men. His words echo what I heard Friday night. I'm going to work on that, genuinely work on it. I can't promise I'll be perfect, but I promise I'll try to do better. He seems cautiously optimistic. Have similar conversations with James and David. Each one shares their experience, their frustration. Each one is honest, but not cruel. They don't hate me. They just want fair treatment. Marcus is harder. He's already given notice. I heard you're leaving. Heard why. He looks uncomfortable. Yeah, I got a better offer. We both know that's not the whole reason. He's quiet, deciding whether to be honest. No, it's not. The environment here has been tough. I'm sorry I contributed to that. Made you want to leave. He wasn't expecting an apology either. Look, you're good at what you do professionally. But yeah, the gender politics stuff was too much. I just wanted to design, not be in constant political discussion. We talk about what drove him away specifically. The constant corrections about language. The feeling of being guilty by default. The different standards for men and women. The assumption that he was the problem. Is there anything I could do to change your mind? Honestly, no. I've already accepted the other job. But for what it's worth, this conversation helps. Shows you're at least willing to listen now. Spend the next few weeks really examining my behavior. Every interaction, every email, every meeting. Consciously treating men and women the same. Same warmth, same support, same expectations. It's hard, goes against patterns I've built for years. But I keep working at it, keep catching myself. Stop organizing women-only events. Start organizing team events for everyone. Stop calling out every gendered language instance. Start focusing on actual behavior and performance. Stop cutting men off in meetings. Start letting everyone finish their thoughts. Stop defending women automatically. Start evaluating everyone's ideas on merit. The change is noticeable to the team. Men, start participating more in meetings. Start sharing ideas more freely. Start seeming less guarded and tense. Month after the conversation, Tom stops by my office. Just wanted to say, things feel different lately. In a good way, less tense, more collaborative. Feel grateful and embarrassed. Thank you for saying that. I'm really trying. We can tell, and it matters. He pauses, then continues. You know, I did look up to you when you started. You were so competent and confident. I wanted to learn from you, work with you. His words from Friday night conversation. What changed when did that shift? He thinks about it carefully. Probably around year 3, you got more political, started seeing everything through gender lens, started treating us differently than the women, and the admiration turned to resentment. The timeline matches my memory. Around when I got really into feminist theory. When I started seeing sexism everywhere. When I started making everything about gender. Can I get that back? The working relationship we had. I think so. Yeah, if you keep doing what you're doing. Treating us like teammates instead of problems. 3 months after overhearing that conversation. Marcus is gone. Can't get him back. But the rest of the team is noticeably better. Meetings are more productive, less tense. Men are contributing, engaging, collaborating. Women are still supported, but not favored. Everyone is held to same standards finally. My reputation in the company starts to shift. People are more willing to work with me now. Projects that used to struggle to fill teams now have people volunteering to join. Not because I've abandoned my values, just because I've stopped weaponizing them. 6 months later, team is genuinely thriving. Performance metrics are up across the board. Employee satisfaction scores improve significantly. No one has quit or transferred in 6 months. After years of high turnover on my teams. Get my annual review from my boss. Significant improvement in team dynamics. Leadership style has matured substantially. Whatever changed, keep doing it. Tell her honestly what happened. About overhearing the conversation. About realizing my bias and behavior. About working to treat everyone fairly. That takes courage to admit and change. Most people would have gotten defensive, would have doubled down on their approach. Feel proud and ashamed in equal measure. Proud of the growth, ashamed it took so long. 1 year after that Friday night. Having drinks with my team, celebrating project success. This time it includes everyone, men and women. This time everyone seems relaxed and genuine. Tom pulls me aside at one point. Remember that conversation we had last year? After you overheard us talking. How could I forget that turning point? I just want to say, you really did change. Not just surface stuff, but real change. And it made all the difference for us. Feel grateful for his honesty, then and now. Thank you for giving me the chance to change. For not just leaving immediately, for being honest about what was wrong. He smiles. You made it safe to be honest finally. Took a while, but we got there. David joins our conversation. What are you two being so serious about? Just talking about how much better things are now. David nods enthusiastically. So much better. Honestly, I was starting to hate coming to work. Now I actually enjoy it, enjoy the team. The transformation is real, not just perception. TFW, you overhear your male colleagues talking about you. TFW, they describe working with you as exhausting. TFW, they say everything is a potential HR issue. TFW, they treat you like a threat, not a colleague. TFW, they're looking for other jobs to escape you. TFW, they describe you as bitter and focused on gender politics. TFW, you realize you treat men and women completely differently. TFW, your team wants to leave not because of work, but because of you. TFW, you have to face your bias and behavior honestly. TFW, changing your approach transforms everything. Still believe in equality and women's rights. Still call out actual sexism when I see it. Still support women on my team strongly. But now support men on my team equally. Now treat everyone as individuals, not representatives. Now create space for all voices, not just women's. Now build teams instead of taking sides. That conversation I overheard changed everything. Could have dismissed it as male fragility. Could have gotten defensive and doubled down. Could have gone to HR about them discussing me. But instead I really listened. Heard the truth in what they said. Saw my behavior through their eyes. Recognized the bias I couldn't see before. Because it was wrapped in righteous ideology. Because it felt like fighting for justice. Because I was helping some people, even while hurting others. Now I help everyone equally. Now I fight for actual fairness. Now I build inclusive culture. That actually includes everyone. Not just the people I decided need protecting. My male colleagues taught me that. By being honest about their experience. By speaking truth even when risky. By giving me a chance to change. And I'm grateful I overheard that conversation. Grateful for the wake-up call. Grateful for the opportunity to grow, even though it was painful and humbling. Better to hear it and change at 37 than to continue blind for another decade. Better late than never learning. Better fairness than ideology. Better inclusion than favoritism. That's what I practice now. What that Friday night taught me. What my team helped me become. A better leader, a better colleague, a better version of myself. Who sees people as individuals, not as categories or problems. Who treats everyone with equal respect, not just the ones who look like me. That's the leader I should have been. The one I finally became, after overhearing the truth about who I really was versus who I thought I was. That gap between perception and reality. That's what I had to bridge. And I'm still working on it every day, still catching myself, still adjusting. Still learning to be better, but at least now I'm actually trying, actually listening to everyone, not just confirming my beliefs. That's what matters most. That's what changed everything, for me and for my team. All because I overheard what they really thought, when they thought I wasn't listening. Best thing that could have happened, even though it hurt like hell, to hear the truth about myself, from people I dismissed and hurt. While thinking I was fighting for justice, really just perpetuating different injustice. Now I know better. Now I do better. Now everyone benefits. That's what leadership should be. What mine finally became. After that Friday night conversation. That changed absolutely everything.